my dad off our hands. You can take care of him for us, right? He's being a real pain in the neck. I don't want to deal with him anymore. I've had it.
Huh? What do you mean? You want me to take him in? Why?
Well, you know how it is. It's costing me an arm and a leg to look after him. It's a real nuisance. And he gives me attitude all the time. He thinks he can order me around just because he's in a wheelchair. I'm so over it. So can you take him?
Abby, you are his only daughter, aren't you? I know it can be difficult to take care of the elderly, but he's still your dad, right? And you're asking me to take care of him for you? You're not just trying to get rid of him, are you?
I never said that. I said I wanted you to take care of him. You make it sound like I'm trying to do something terrible. I want you to look after him is all. So can you take him or what?
Well, it might be a little difficult, actually. We're really struggling financially. I'm not sure we have the money to take care for an extra person. We can barely feed and clothe ourselves as it is. I'm afraid your dad might not have a great time here.
Does it really matter? He'll be dead soon anyway.
How can you say that about your own father? You don't really mean that, do you? That's horrible.
Yeah, well, if you think it's horrible, then how about you take him off my hands? You never know what could happen if he continues to live with us. I'm sure you wouldn't want him to suffer.
Is that some kind of threat? He's your family.
Well, you'll understand my feelings if you try living with him. What do you think?
Look, I'm sure it's not been easy on you, but you're taking things way too far trying to get rid of him, don't you think? I mean, he raised you as a single father all this time, and then he got into an accident and ended up wheelchair-bound. Don't you feel like you owe it to him to take care of him in his last years?
Don't try to tell me how to treat my own father. What do you know about it anyway? So he raised his own child. Big whoops. That's nothing special. It's just any parent's duty. But it doesn't work the other way around. I am under no obligation to take care of him. I've got my own life to live.
That's a very selfish mindset. Don't you want to repay him for raising you? You don't feel sorry for him? He's made a name for himself as a first-class chef. I read an old interview with him the other day, and you know what he said? He did it all for his beloved daughter.
What's that got to do with you anyway? If he really loves me so much, he can prove it when I get my inheritance. I'm expecting a big payout. Anyway, you'll take care of him for me, right? Let me know when he dies, okay?
Disgusting. Aren't you ashamed to say things like that?
Who cares? Unlike you, my husband and I don't have the time to run around after a jobless old man. Not that you guys would understand. The only thing you guys do is run that crappy little restaurant, so you wouldn't understand what it's like to work hard like we do.
We do work hard, for your information. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy my work a lot, but I would never call it easy. It can be very stressful at times.
Yeah, it's not like it compares to my husband and I working at a high-level tech company. You wouldn't have any idea what our work involves. Hell, it's not even in the same ballpark. I guess you blue-collar workers just can't understand. Don't worry about it. All you have to do is slap together some simple food and give it to the customers. Anyone can do it. By the way, your place isn't exactly popular, is it? You guys must not be very good cooks. I'd look for another job I'm actually cut out for if I was you.
I know we don't bring in a lot of money, and I know we have some room to improve in some places, but both of us have devoted our lives to this job. I won't put up with you making fun of it.
Well, you should have plenty of things to talk about with my dad, since he used to be a chef too. Hell, maybe he could teach you how to cook for real. Not that he does a lot of cooking himself. Ever since he got into the accident and ended up in that wheelchair. Ugh, now he's just useless old meat. Oh, I know! Why don't you use him in one of your recipes? It might sell pretty well, huh?
I never thought you were this kind of person, Abby. What does Michael think of all of this? Doesn't he have something to say to you about it?
Oh yeah, I haven't said anything to him yet. I'm gonna tell him myself, so leave it to me. Got it? I don't need your interference.
Shouldn't you consult your husband about these kinds of matters first?
Nah, he's a big softie, so he might be against it if I told him. He actually feels sorry for my dad. But you understand, right? You know you can't leave the old man in this situation, right? You feel like you need to do something to help him, don't you?
I do feel that way. Fine then, you win. I'll take care of him for you. When can you bring him here?
Awesome, thanks a lot. I knew I could count on you. You can come and get him on Wednesday. Let me know when he dies, yeah?
Whatever, Abby. I'm on my way to pick you up. I'll be there around lunchtime if that's okay.
Okay, thank you. Sorry you have to move all my stuff over for me. I wish I could help, but...
Don't even worry about it. It's no trouble at all, really. Happy to do it. It would be a waste of money to hire a moving van, and we have enough space in the back of our car anyway. I'm pretty frugal, by the way. I hope you're not expecting a luxurious lifestyle. And the building is pretty old and run down. You might find it pretty bare bones.
Oh, that's not a problem. I prefer to live a simple life. I just want to live quietly, and I don't go out much nowadays anyway. And you're a man with a family to take care of. It makes sense that you've learned to be economical.
Well, I suppose so.
But are you actually alright taking care of an old man like me? I don't want you to think of me as a burden, and I try to be as independent as I can, but the fact of the matter is, there are a lot of things that I do need help with. I've been looking for jobs that a disabled older man can do, but I've had no luck so far, unfortunately.
Well, in that case, I have a favor to ask of you. But please don't feel pressured to say yes.
Well, what can I do for you?
Would you consider working at our family restaurant?
I'm not so sure about that. My wheelchair might get in the way of people trying to get around the kitchen, and it's not like I can cook or anything the way I am. I don't think I can be much of a help. If anything, I'd be more of a nuisance.
We're planning on having the kitchen remodeled. I've always thought it was too cramped in there anyway. We'll be closing up the restaurant while the renovations are happening. So if you would like, we could have it redone to make it wheelchair accessible, so that you'd be able to cook in there.
No, Andrew, you don't need to go to those lengths for me.
I'm a huge fan of your cooking, sir. I can't even count how many times I went to eat at your restaurant. Of course, I'm doing my best as a chef, but I'm still far away from your level. It would be an honor if you would be interested in cooking at our diner.
Are you sure? I'm very flattered at your offer. It's incredibly kind of you, but the restaurant is your baby after all. So you need to be the one who cooks the food there.
Yes, I can see what you mean.
I know it may not be a famous restaurant or anything like that, but you have plenty of regulars, don't you? Those customers enjoy your cooking. They want to eat your food. That's why they keep coming back.
Well, yes, you're right, of course.
If you don't mind me saying, I can't agree with your way of thinking. Asking someone else to cook for you just because your restaurant isn't as popular as you would like? It would be a betrayal to your loyal customers. Are you just aiming to make money? Are you looking to outsource everything one day?
No, nothing like that. I want to continue to be a chef, and if I can, I'd like to be first rate someday.
Well, in that case, you can't leave the cooking in someone else's hands. That won't get you any closer to your dream. You must seize victory with your own hands.
Thank you. I think I needed to hear that. I lost sight of what was important to me. My head is clear now. I'll continue to do my best to improve my cooking more and more, and I'll surpass the customers' expectations.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it. If there's any guidance I can give you, though, I'd be happy to help out. I'm sorry to give you a hard time like that, even though you've so kindly offered to take me in.
Not at all. Thank you for opening my eyes. And yes, please offer me your guidance. I'm willing to do whatever it takes.
Great. I'll do anything I can to help out. Besides cooking, of course.
again! Everything's been so much better since you took the old man off my hands. I'm so glad I got rid of him. How are you going these days? I haven't heard from you in a while. Surviving?
Hi, Abby. I'm doing very well, actually. Thank you.
Oh, cool. Well, I know he's a useless old bugger who can't do anything by himself but work him hard, okay? If he makes a fuss, you can just push him around. Nothing he can do about it. I knew I made the right decision, dumping him with a poor family running an unsuccessful restaurant. Fancy that! An old geezer on the verge of death and a bunch of poor people getting along like a house on fire.
Yes, thanks for sending him over. The restaurant has really taken off. We have lines around the block now.
Wait, what are you saying?
Of course, I expected nothing less from a man who made a name for himself as a first-class chef. He doesn't just know about how to cook great food, but how to run a successful business too. He's taught me all the tricks of the trade.
Whoa, so your restaurant is actually selling these days? Really?
Yes, he's given me a lot of great advice. He's got so much insider knowledge after all. His guidance has really helped me to turn this place around. And not just that, at first he said he didn't want to get too heavily involved with the restaurant and that he'd just take a back seat because of his old age. But now he's in the diner just about every single day, talking to customers and even taking orders. He greets everyone with so much energy now, and a lot of his fans come here to see him. It's great to see they haven't forgotten about him just because he can't cook anymore.
Huh. Is that right?
I did an interview with a food magazine last week, and next week, a TV crew are coming to do a piece in the restaurant. I can tell you when it's going to be on if you're interested in watching it.
Well, aren't you in high spirits?
Of course I'm in high spirits. The restaurant is finally on track, thanks to your father. Everything's been going great.
I can't believe you got that rundown little place off the ground. Anyway, people like me and Michael wouldn't go to a shack like yours in the first place.
Fair enough. If that's how you feel, you can stick with your restaurants for the wealthy. I just really appreciate all the customers that come to eat at our place. That's all.
Oh, I see. So it's just a place for poor people to huddle together and complain about their circumstances, huh? Well, whatever. Michael and I were planning to go to a first-class French restaurant later this week. Your customers wouldn't be able to afford it.
Oh, Michael's eating here at our place right now, actually.
Huh? You're kidding me.
I've been chatting with him recently, and it seems like he didn't even know that you threw your father out of the house because you didn't want to take care of him. He thought he'd left you guys out of his own free will in order to help out at the restaurant. Is that what you told him, Abby?
Why the hell is Michael eating at your restaurant? What's going on?
Well, he is my brother. He wants to come and see me sometimes and get a bite to eat. I heard you guys have been having some marital problems recently. Is everything okay?
What? He said that.
Yeah, he said you betrayed his trust by lying about your father. He's always really looked up to your father. He's pretty furious, actually. I've almost never seen him get so angry.
Oh my god, are you serious? What am I gonna do? He's not thinking about divorcing me, is he? My life is over if that happens.
I know, right? Since you behave like a rich woman even though you don't actually have a job. You'd be in trouble if the two of you split up, right?
What? How do you know about that?
You graduated from a good university and entered a world-famous tech company, but it didn't end up going well for you and you ended up quitting. You're currently job hunting, trying to find somewhere else that will hire you. Michael told me everything.
Jeez, what the hell? I told him not to tell anyone.
I guess he blurted it out in anger after he discovered you'd lied to him. I was really surprised. I couldn't believe you'd act all elite and look down on people the way you do when you don't even have a job.
Shut up! How dare you say that to me? I'd rather be jobless than running that dirty little shack full of peasants that you call a restaurant. Anyway, I'm not unemployed. I'm job hunting. The nuance is completely different. I've had a ton of interviews. I'm in high demand, you know. I may not be working right now, but I'm still higher class than you.
Is class and status really all you care about? No wonder no one will hire you. I feel sorry for you, trying to measure people's worth based on nothing more than their job.
Yeah, right. Your pitiful little restaurant only makes money because my dad is telling you what to do. You're a loser who can't succeed on your own, so don't you dare talk down to me.
Well, you're correct that the place has only started to run smoothly since your dad got here. I'll give you that. As far as business management goes, I might be a loser, just like you said. But I have a lot of pride in my restaurant, and I'm able to work hard every day doing what I love the most. Whether or not I have the money, regardless of whether or not the restaurant is popular, if just one customer tells me they enjoyed my cooking, then that's all I need to be happy.
What are you blabbering about? Don't try to act cool.
I just mean that words like poor or lower class have zero effect on me. I couldn't care less about that stuff. I don't care if you're jealous of my success, but at least be discreet about it.
Jealous? Why would I be jealous? I'll show you who's jealous. You're gonna regret insulting me, you scum!
There you go, that's the spirit. Use that anger of yours to motivate yourself to keep on going. I knew you had it in you.
Shut up! I don't want to hear your stupid jokes. Is that supposed to be sarcasm?
Not at all, I really meant it. I want the best for you, Abby.
Stop mocking me! You've been trash-talking me this entire conversation, and I don't have to take it anymore. You have no right to be so full of yourself.
I don't know what you're talking about. I would never do such a thing. Anyway, if you'll excuse me, I have to get back to work. Unlike you, I have a job to do and don't have time to chit-chat all day. After that, Abby lost her temper and came to our restaurant directly to verbally abuse everyone there. Her words were incoherent and incomprehensible. She was completely out of control as a result of her bruised pride. Although the police came and arrested her almost immediately, I'm very sorry that my customers had to experience something like that. Having realized what kind of person his wife really was, Michael decided to divorce Abby shortly after that incident. They're living separately these days. I worried that she might come back to the restaurant and cause another incident after getting out of jail, but fortunately she didn't. I heard she moved out to the remote countryside, and I haven't heard from her since. I guess she must have used up all her energy the first time she was arrested. I'm sure it was a tough decision for her, having always dreamed about a high-flying career in the big city, but when I think about the way she treated Brandon, I just can't feel any sympathy for her. As for our restaurant, it's no longer as popular as it used to be, but I'm more than happy to be able to serve food to our regular customers every day. Even now, there are customers who come from all over the country just to eat at our restaurant and have the opportunity to meet Brandon. As for him, he's full of a renewed sense of life and energy. He even told me with a smile on his face that he expects to live an extra 10 years thanks to the restaurant. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video and want to see more like it, subscribe and leave a comment down below.